Dear colleagues, I would like first to welcome you all and to thank Mio Axidi for inviting us and congratulate them for this excellent and relevant initiative. My name is Khalil Atiya. I am the director of the Specially Protected Areas Regional Activity Center, SPARAC, the Biodiversity Center of United Nations Environment Programme, Mediterranean Action Plan, Secretariat of the Barcelona Convention. As most of you already know, Barcelona Convention is a UN treaty, a multilateral environmental agreement signed 45 years ago by the Mediterranean riparian states and European Union to address marine and coastal environment degradation problems and cooperate towards sustainable development in the region. We are very honored to count Mio Axidi as a long-standing official UNEP partner, which had a very active role in the framework of the Mediterranean Commission on Sustainable Development, the MCSD. Let me give you now a brief idea about the UNEP Barcelona Convention system. The Mediterranean Action Plan, commonly called MAP, was established in 1975 by Mediterranean governments as the first regional action plan under the UNEP Regional Seas Programme. The Barcelona Convention was initially adopted in February 1976 and amended in 1995. From a sectoral approach to pollution assessment and control, the Barcelona Convention scope was broadened in the context of sustainable development following the Rio Conference in 1992 to include integrated coastal zone management, sustainable use of marine and coastal resources, and conservation of biodiversity. The Barcelona Convention is supplemented by 7 protocols addressing different aspects of marine and coastal environment and resources protection and management. One of these protocols especially focuses on specially protected areas and biodiversity. It is supported by our Regional Activity Center, SPARAC, based in Tunis. The Mediterranean is one of the worst 25 hotspots for the biodiversity. Its highly diverse marine ecosystem is sensitive and hosts up to 18% of the world's marine biodiversity. Many of these marine species are globally or regionally classified by IUCN and Barcelona Convention SPABIDI protocol itself as threatened or endangered. The 22 contracting parties to the Barcelona Convention have developed a comprehensive range of legally binding policies to protect the Mediterranean ecosystems. These policies are regularly updated and complemented by new tools as the situation evolves, using the latest scientific data on the marine environment status. Over the past 2 years, SPARAC has developed the post-2020 Strategic Action Programme for the conservation of biodiversity and sustainable management of natural resources in the Mediterranean region, called the post-2020 SABBIO. This strategy has been adopted by the contracting parties to the Barcelona Convention during their 22nd meeting, which was held in Antalya, Turkey, from 7 to 10 December 2021. It provides a logical framework for the conservation of the Mediterranean marine and coastal biodiversity, addresses the main drivers of degradation, and aims to reduce the pressure exerted on ecosystems. The post-2020 SABBIO proposes a vision for 2050 that is consistent with the draft post-2020 Global Biodiversity Framework. By 2050, marine and coastal biodiversity is valued, conserved, restored, and wisely used, maintaining ecosystem services, sustaining a healthy Mediterranean Sea and coast, and delivering benefits essential for the nature and people. The document also identifies a closer milestone, which is by 2030 start to reverse the loss of biodiversity and put the Mediterranean marine and coastal biodiversity on the path to recovery for the benefit of nature and people. The post 2020 Sabayo comprises 27 SMART targets, which SMART means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. These targets consider differences among Mediterranean countries and sub-regions. They have been received in such a way as to leave room to adjustment to the specific conditions and opportunities inherent to specific contexts. Bolstering enabling conditions for effective conservation is at the heart of the post-2020 Sabayo strategic direction. This includes enhancing governance and management systems, closing knowledge gaps, building capacity, increasing funding from national sources, reinforcing cooperation between countries and institutions, and of course, raising awareness and education. On this last point, the post-2020 Sabayo aims is to integrate marine biodiversity and ecosystem conservation concerns into school, higher education, professional training, and citizen science so that best practices and innovative technologies to protect marine and coastal ecosystems are more accessible and replicable. Therefore, we are very pleased with this course on management of biosphere reserves and designated sites, which we consider very relevant and consistent with our priorities for the next 10 years. In addition to the post-2020 Sabayo, SPARAC has also been working on the elaboration of a post-2020 regional strategy for marine and coastal protected areas, MCPAs, and other effective area-based conservations, OECMs, in the Mediterranean. This will complement the post-2020 Sabayo. It addresses all aspects related to MCPAs and OECMs in detail and pursues two important targets. The first target is by 2030, at least 30% of the Mediterranean Sea is protected and conserved through well-connected, ecologically representative, and effective systems of marine and coastal protected areas and other effective area-based conservation measures, ensuring adequate geographical balance with the focus on areas particularly important for biodiversity. The second target is, by 2030, the number of coverage of marine and coastal protected areas with enhanced protection level is increased, contributing to the recovery of marine ecosystems. If implemented, the strategy will take the Mediterranean region closer to hitting the crucial 30% coverage mark of effective protection. For that to happen, there are three crucial prerequisites. First, establishing and expanding the network of MCPAs in a manner that achieves a greater geographical balance and a greater ecological representation. Second, the inclusive governance of MCPAs and OECMs. This entails the meaningful participation of all stakeholders in both decision-making and management processes. This brings us to the third prerequisite, which is to ensure that across all stakeholder groups, including the wider society, MCPAs and potential OECMs are valued and appreciated for their functional and supportive role in helping to achieve other non-biodiversity related national agenda and their role as nature-based solutions. Enhancing political support is particularly crucial as without political will, the region cannot meet the relevant post-2020 targets. Key to increasing political support will be advancing the recognition of the value and importance of MCPAs and OECMs in achieving national and international commitments, particularly as they relate to sustainable development goals and national determined contributions, as well as their contributions to the national economy. The development and implementation of effective and targeted communication and awareness strategies will be essential for mobilizing action in government and non-government stakeholders. A new initiative adopted by COP22 will help promote Mediterranean MCPAs and more specifically the specially protected areas of Mediterranean importance, commonly called SPAMIs. From 2022, the celebration of the SPAMI Day will take place on 15 April each year. Dear colleagues, the current situation requires a strong mobilization of everyone. Dialogue, education, and awareness raising is an essential lever for this mobilization to take place. In the recent months, we have had extraordinary opportunities for dialogue and above all, for strengthening the commitment to protect our Mediterranean. During the 7th IUCN World Conservation Congress held in Marseille from 3 to 11 September 2021, 12 Mediterranean leading organizations, including SPARAC and other MAP components, explored new joint mechanisms to kickstart nature-based recovery across the region. New conservation and financial solutions to tackle biodiversity and climate crisis in the region were presented, alongside the launch of the Action Plan for the Exemplary Mediterranean Sea by 2030, called PAMEX, by 8 Mediterranean governments. Later, in Monaco, around 250 in-person participants and around 350 online, representing the region key players involved in the marine environment, met from 28 November to 1st December 2021 for the Forum of Marine Protected Areas in the Mediterranean, to share their experiences, discuss and develop a joint work program, an MPA roadmap, to improve by 2030 the protection of the Mediterranean Sea. This roadmap should help to achieve by 2030 the international goals of the Convention on Biological Diversity and Barcelona Convention. The road is still long to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals and good environmental status in the Mediterranean. So let's work together for bridging the gaps between the current situation and our aspirations for the sustainable future in the Mediterranean. Finally, I wish you a fruitful course and thank you for your attention.